guys, it's me, Jen, your Pudgy Picker, again, back for another semaglutide GLP-1 shot, weight loss journey, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it, week 40. So, of course, I have to do my disclaimer before I start. I'm not a doctor, not a nurse, not in the healthcare profession. I'm not working with any company. I'm not being compensated or sponsored in any way. I go through Mochi Health, which is currently experiencing some issues, which I will talk about. But I think a lot of places are, there's a lot of uncertainty with the compounding shots right now. But, if this is something you think you should do, if your insurance covers it, talk to your doctor, see if it's right for you. Don't go by a rando, which is me, on the internet. Not everybody should be taking this, and it's a very serious medication. So check with your doctor. So, week 40. So I am basically right now 2 shots missing that I have not taken. So I've been off of the medication for basically a little over 2 weeks. So I know I mentioned this last time. The Mochi Health is who I go through. They are currently going through, had switched pharmacies. They were using a place called Aquila. They are now using a place, I think it's called Empower. It's a different pharmacy. So there's been a huge delay and backup in medications by switching over. For me, as far as I'm concerned, I understand that. I understand there's going to be delays. I understand there's going to be issues. The few issues I have with how it was handled are a different situation. I mentioned this last week, recruiting and heavily advertising for, hang on one second. I had to blow my nose and I was not going to subject you to that. So my issue was to continue to heavily advertise and to do all these things to get more people in when you are experiencing huge delays for customers you already have. That's my first issue with the situation. The other one is lack in transparency as far as messaging or even putting out on their website, hey, here's what's going on, here's where we're at, here's what to expect, and having so many people either not get those messages because they weren't sent, or now that they're sending it, people are they still want answers. Calling Mochi is a nightmare. So probably one of the hardest jobs in the world right now is being a customer service representative for Mochi Health. So, it is what it is. They have sent a message to me and said that they would have my medication sent within 14 business days. That was the first message I got. That date means I should be receiving it by a week from today, the 18th. I just received another message a day or two ago that said the same thing. Went to the website, they had a huge thing there that said, no matter what messages you're getting, if it says within 14 days, we're still working within that time frame, blah, 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 blah. If I don't receive my medication by next week, that'll be 3 doses I've missed, and I might shop elsewhere. I don't know. I like Mochi. I've never had an issue up till now. I understand there's a delay. I understand there's problems, but to not be transparent and then give you, hey, we're going to do this. Hey, we're going to do this. And then it doesn't happen. That's a problem. Also, if you happen to be with Mochi, you can pause your subscription for the medication portion. I may even go back and ask for a refund for the amount that I'm paying to be in the program or to be on there, because it's a mess right now. I know that they said they would be refunding everybody for 1 month of the subscription, which is like $79. It's $79, and then it's $99 a month for my medication. So that's how much I'm paying per month. So this was I had missed 1 dose before. Not missed. I had not taken a dose once before when I had a colonoscopy. For obvious reasons. You don't want to slow your digestion when they need to go in there and look. So yeah, that I was fine. I didn't have a lot of side effects. I didn't have a lot of cravings. It was all that. So I was kind of like coasting and took my dose. I was fine again. This time, since I've missed 2 doses, I'm eating really well. I'm still on point with what I'm supposed to be doing. And let's just let you know the numbers. So for this week, week 40, it covers from April 2nd to April 8th. My starting weight for this week was 213 pounds. My ending weight was 214, so I had a gain of 1. Now, after you go off of medication, and I'm still doing the same things I did before, I know that there would be an adjustment period. So I'm not looking at this like, oh my God, I'm going to gain all my weight back. Am I happy I gained a pound? Not really. Am I happy I gained a pound last week? 1 pound, or what was it? What was it, 1.2 or something? No, but I'm not panicking. And the reason why I'm not panicking is because I have a lot mentally in place that I didn't have 9 months ago when I started. I'm doing, I keep telling you, I'm researching. Why am I eating? Why am I not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Why am I doing things I shouldn't be doing? Why am I self-sabotaging? So I've gotten a lot of that kind of figured out. But of course, those things are easier to do when you have the backup of the medication. You know what I mean? And I even put a post on one of the groups that I'm on for the GLP-1 about, it's people are panicking. I understand everybody's upset. Consider working on yourself and doing those things and figuring out why you're doing what you're doing to kind of help you until you get back on the medicine and as you're on the medication. And I was completely nailed to the wall on that post by one particular person. Does it ultimately bother me? No, I don't know them. Does it make me think that they read that and they felt some kind of way? Absolutely. I was told I was rude. I was inconsiderate. I was saying I was better than everyone. I was saying it was a condescending message. It's just like me telling everybody the translation of what I said was, eat less and move more, like they've been told for years and blah, blah, blah. And some people have to have the medication. So it was a whole thing. And I just said, look, just trying to be helpful, just giving people another point to look at. And then she came back and doubled down. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to engage. If 1,000 people read the message and even a few were like, yeah, I kind of think about that. Maybe I should do that. Then great. It served its purpose. But in my life, I don't put up with people coming at me like that. And why would I, in real life, not take that seriously and say, hey, if that's the way you feel, then you can feel that way, but you can feel it down the street. So when I if I put something on there and I get blowback for anything, I'm just like, okay, well, you figure yourself out. I mean, I've gotten to the point in my life where I just don't do that anymore. I don't take a lot of things like I used to. And I stand up for myself. And that really bothers some people. You know who you are. So, yeah. So, again, I gained a pound. My overall starting weight, of course, was 264.4 in July 1st when I started, making my total loss 50.4. So, again, it's like, yay, I got past 50. And then I'm like, oh, I'm being drugged back to 50. It is what it is. I've kept the weight off. I've done this for 9 months, almost 10 months. I'm happy with how I'm doing. I know this is eventually going to resolve. And I'm not even engaging or thinking about the issue that Eli Lilly, who makes Ozempic, makes billions. This is billions of dollars. And they are trying to slit the throat of every place that's trying to do compounded or anything else, because it's not like, oh, we care about everybody and oh, we don't want you to take compound, oh, we don't want you, oh no, this is, we want you to be, well, then bring your price down, make it reasonable, make it accessible. If you're that greedy for your billions of dollars and somebody's gonna, try and help people who can't afford it and their insurance isn't covering it, then they're gonna come at people, and they got the money to do it. So will this eventually become where they can't sell it anymore? I don't know. Will it be that this blows over, or that whatever patent or whatever they got going on will eventually, like any medication, it comes out, it's ours, we have a patent, this is what we charge, eventually generic or this or that, and then the price lowers. Will that happen? I don't know, probably. But can I worry about that? Can I, what are we going to do? No, I'm not going to do that. Ultimately, if this ends up being where they can't sell it anymore, I'm just going to have to keep trying to do what I'm doing. Ultimately, this is about me, my health, my weight, my energy, what I can do, what I can't do, how I'm improving my health in a myriad of ways, and it's not just weight. So all that being said is I'm going to control what I can control, which is what goes in my mouth, what goes in my brain, and where my feet go to exercise, and how I'm carrying myself. That's all I can do. So there are people I know in the groups who, they are losing it, because this has been a life changer for so many. It's been a life changer for me. But I think when that's the only thing you're relying on, and that is taken away or delayed, people are losing it. And I understand. And I understand that there's upsetness, and I understand that people are doing so well on this, and they don't want that to be taken away. But that's just not how I approach things. The mental energy and mental upsetness that would be put into this will not fix anything, will not hurry the medication, will not make it show up at my door any quicker or any slower. So, there's not much I can do about it, and I'm going to focus on what I can do, and then everything else will just have to, it'll have to figure itself out. And this is how I approach things, and this is how I'm approaching my weight loss. So, I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep, I think part of it too is I've been eating at 1,600 calories. I'm not going to dip that down because, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to eat way less so that I can actually lose. I'm not going to put my body through that. I'm going to continue doing exactly what I'm doing. And when the medicine comes, I will continue on that. And if the medicine doesn't, or whatever happens that's beyond my control happens, then I'll figure that out. That's all I can do. And banging my head against a wall, or pulling my hair out, or freaking out, or just being all about it all the time, it isn't going to fix anything. And even times when that feeling, oh my gosh, comes up, it's funny. Now I'm going to tell you a secret, and I'll tell you a hint, and if you can use it, and if it sounds dumb to you, that's okay. It works for me. If I feel that way, I tell myself, I'm looking at the clock, I'm going to give myself an hour, and I'm going to ruminate, I'm going to think, and I'm going to worry, and I'm going to wring my hands, and I'm going to, and then after that hour, I'm just going to go, let's move on. And I do that. And I do that with a lot of situations. Something comes up, and I'm just like, no. And then I just tell myself, okay, I'll just give yourself an hour to just, trudge through this. And I say this, and people laugh. Sometimes if I'm upset or I'm depressed, I'm going to take an hour, I'm going to sit in my own poo. I'm just going to sit there, and I'm going to be mad. And then after that hour, I'm going to get up, I'm going to clean myself off, and I'm going to keep walking, because what choice do I have? People say, oh, hang in there. Well, what else can I do? I'm not going to let go. I'm not going to go back to what I did before. Whatever problems I have, or whatever's going on now, is not going to be fixed within the box that is my refrigerator. So, nothing I can do about it. So that being said, of course, been off it 2 weeks. If it comes in time, if it comes before the 16th, there's another chance I'm going to miss one more thing. So what have I noticed being off of it for 2 doses? I feel hunger. I don't feel inappropriate hunger. I'm not having a lot of the food noise, like, what are we going to eat? Let's eat. Oh, that looks good. Maybe we should that. Oh, what about tomorrow? Oh, we could go here. We could eat this. We could eat that. That constant that's in your brain has not roared back to me. And as soon as I get off this video, it might. Who knows? But that hasn't been an issue. But like sometimes I'll be like, yeah, it's about that time I should probably eat. Or, oh, this is about the time I eat. And now my stomach's like, I'm like, oh, it's about time I eat. So that's something I've noticed. Um, I will say the upside of this is not having nausea, constipation, all those issues that have become a regular norm for me in the last 9 months to some varying degree, are gone. So, and then there's a lot of times, and I feel this way, and of course, all these videos, this is just my opinion, what I feel, what I'm experiencing, is a lot of times when you're on this medication, you have a certain amount of bloat. So when you're like, wow, I've lost a lot of weight, and I still feel like, you know, so it's hard to feel like, I feel it. I feel thinner. I feel, the size that my scale is telling me that I'm at. So I haven't had that bloat. So that's been great. So my mood has been okay. Do what I can. I've been doing other things for my health. I just recently got back. Remember I told you I went for that the scan. You'll see them advertised. I've been talking about that. I went a few weeks ago. I got that back. My aorta on my heart is perfectly fine. There is minimal, if any, plaque buildup, just a tiny bit, very, very mild in a few of my arteries. My blood pressure and blood flow through my legs and my arms, my, what do you call them? Not exterior limbs, whatever. But those are fine. The what do you call it? Jugular, that's great, fine, no buildup, no blockages. So that has brought me a lot of comfort. I did go for my mammogram last week. So every year I'm doing my mammogram, as we all should if we're a certain age. If you didn't do it, you have to do it. It's not a big deal, other than it's being cold. They just slap it up there like a blob of pizza dough, and it's freezing. But that's a whole nother situation. And then every year I'm getting MRI scans for breast exam too, because of my elevated risk, because of my family history. So every 6 months I'm going to be mammogram, MRI, MRI, mammogram, da, 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 da. So basically I'm doing both of those things once a year. So I did that. I just got that report back yesterday. Everything's fine. No issue, nothing that they've seen. So that's done, off my mind. So yeah, I think those were the only doctor's appointments I've had. I haven't scheduled another, shot doctor appointment with Mochi because I'm still waiting. So I haven't had a nutritionist appointment either, just because I can't. I got a lot going on, and I know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to concentrate on that. This past Monday, Mr. Pudgy Picker had a hospital procedure. Everything went really well, so we're doing really good on that. He's had an ongoing issue, and we're thinking, we are where we need to be at the moment. So Monday, that was very, nerve-wracking, and to see your partner, worried or nervous about a situation it's hard, because there's nothing you can do. It's like seeing your kids go through something. It's like, I'm here, that's all I can do. So that's done, that's fine. Last week, Thursday and Friday, I worked 2 full days at my store to get that work time out of the way, because I have other things going on, like that medical procedure. Tuesday, I had to take both of my dogs into the vet for their regular checkup, and the one had they put her under to do her teeth cleaning. That turned out fine. Her teeth are beautiful. She's 3. This is her first teeth cleaning. So yesterday it was, she was like this all day. And to see my dog, who's like woo all the time, be just like so that was, so we were kind of giving her extra attention yesterday. And this morning she's doing fine. They called to do a follow-up visit, and she did yesterday, like, drag her butt 3 times, and I was like, what's going on? She's never done this. So I talked to him today. This is beyond what you need to know, but this is who I am, and I'm just going to go with it. When they sedate them to do the teeth, they use a thermometer up in that side to kind of, monitor, make sure nothing's going on while they're under. And she said sometimes that, irritates them and they'll feel like it's still there. So I'm like, okay. She's like, well, if she does it another day or two, come bring her back, we'll look. But so there was that. So, when it comes to setting up, all this goes all the way back to nutritionist appointment. I got a lot going on, and I know this is something I was like, I have to get these things done. I have to make sure everything in the house is flowing. I clean the house on Sunday, so I thought with his procedure, I'll be able to tend to him and he can rest and do all that. So I did that. So, I'm a boots on the ground kind of, what can I do kind of person. And I tend to worry when I have time to worry. So when things are going on and I'm like, put my Mr. Fix-It hat on and I'm like, take care of this, take care of that, take care of that, I'm fine. And it's like afterwards, after things kind of calm down like now, that's when I get a little like, like, I don't know, like the worry has a residue with me. So I have that for like a day or two after things are calmed down. And, somebody should take this video and take all of my and all the funny things I'm doing and just put them all together. I would love to see that. Hint. No, so point being, I'm taking care of business. I'm doing what I need to do. Then of course I had to go grocery shopping, and then I had to do this and I had to do that. And there was 2 nights when I was doing all this stuff that I come out of my office at a certain time to go start dinner, and my husband's like, what do you want for dinner? I'm ordering you something. So I did eat, we did do DoorDash 2 nights, but it's from places I've eaten before, and I know exactly what I like and exactly what I can have. So it wasn't like, I was eating things I shouldn't. And, I understand the automatic, anytime you order anything, either in a restaurant or you are eating out, or having it delivered, is there's more salt or other things that you can't be aware of. So I was sticking to what, he's like, well, I'm thinking about this place. I'm like, well, you know what my order is. So we did that 2 nights this past week, just because when he got home, he wasn't tired. He wasn't up for eating for a couple of days there. So, I was just kind of fixing something for myself, and then, running the dogs around and cleaning the house and all this stuff. He stepped in and took care of that. So, he's looking out for me as much as he can with what he was going through. So, all that to be said that, gained a pound this week, hanging in there, eating the same thing, continuing to work and improve and do what I do until this issue is resolved, until I can get back on the medicine, and enjoying a little bit of time without side effects. I have had a little bit of an issue, and I just thought of this maybe literally right before I started the camera, like, you know what? I really need to take that stool softener, because I usually take one every day because of the medication, but I've been off a few weeks, and now I'm like, I have the opposite problem I had before. So I'm like, yeah, I should probably pull those out of my, I set up my week pills at a time. So I need to do that. But hopefully by next week I will have some answers for you as to if I got the medication or what's going on. I plan on taking it as soon as it comes in. That evening. I take it in the evenings, and I'm just going to have a different shot day. I'm not going to get it on like a Wednesday and wait until Monday to take it. I'll just have to switch up my shot day. It's fine. It kind of doesn't matter. The only reason it matters is because I am so used to my shot day being Monday that, I got to make sure I'm writing it in, in my book so that I'm, on track and taking it when I should be taking it. So that's a lot. That's a lot to take in. So I appreciate if you've stayed all this time. I am doing my best. I am filming this on Wednesday at 12:21. I'm really going to try to get this video up by 3. I'm going to do everything in my power to do that. If for some reason I didn't, and you're seeing this on Thursday, I apologize. But there was some things I really wanted to go through. Sometimes I can make it a little more short and sweet. I have less to say. I don't have any appointments. You know, there's no delay in medicine. Here's my weight. Everything's good. We're fine. This one was a little bit longer, so that may take me a little longer to upload it, but that's fine. It's more important for me to say what I need to say, to get that message, you know, to get this information to you, and also for me, because I can look back on these, and this is kind of like a video diary of how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, you know, where I was, where I'm at. So I'm enjoying it for that reason too. So if this is on Thursday, I apologize. If it's on Wednesday, yay! Got it out on time. We will go back to our regular scheduled programming. If you watch me just for the weight loss stuff, consider subscribing. If you like my charming personality, you could see it on full display 2 more times a week. I do hauls. I do Goodwill bins, pay by the pound bin hauls. I do thrift hauls, do booth tours of my physical space. I talk about all things reselling, but it's just a lot of fun to sit and yap. So I will be getting back to that, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have made it this far, let's leave a smiley face down below, because we're trying to be positive no matter what we're going through. You got to stay positive. And that's what I'm trying to do. Now, if I don't get it in the next week, I'm still going to continue to be positive, but I'm not going to be I'm going to be irritated, and I'm going to have to figure something out, because I don't know. I have to do what's best for me. I have to take care of my own health, and I'm going to continue to do that. No matter if I have the medication or not. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And until all this stuff gets figured out, you know, and the lawyers have their say and they make their millions of dollars, you know, drug companies make billions, lawyers make millions in these type of cases, and it's the little peon people like us who are sitting going, what's the decision? And that kind of sucks, but I don't know. I don't think I could live with myself if I was trying to stop a life-saving and life-altering and life-changing medication from those who can't afford it from me. But that's me. But I'm a little peon, so my opinion means nothing in the large scheme of things. So again, thank you for tuning in, letting me vent, talk about this. Before I put my videos up, I watch through them to make sure everything looks good and everything, you know, is how I want it. So I'll probably do that again, and this will just reinforce it to me that this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm going through, and I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. If I never take this medication again, I'll figure it out, and I'm gonna love myself and be happy wherever I am. And I guess that's the bottom line. So I'll leave you with that. So thank you again. Leave a smiley face down below, or if you have a question or anything, leave it down there. Anything to do with the weight loss, or, you know, hints, ideas, anything, I would appreciate it. So I will see you guys next time. Take care of yourself. I'm going to go back to drinking my water, and I will see you next week. Bye.